thumbs up responsive, but
No thumbs up from Tua.
I hate to see
That
that.
that kind of made me sad. I was waiting for the thumbs up when I see him getting carted off. Honestly, Austin, hot seat goes to the coaching staff. I mean, all of their staff, the medical staff, the coaching staff. Obviously, this game, Bengals versus Dolphins, a must. I wouldn't say a must-win game for the Bengals or the Dolphins, but a high caliber game on a Thursday night. Like you said, short week. I think it was a little bit of a rush back for Tua to get back and playing off that short week. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. I feel like, Austin, when these things happen, when players shouldn't be playing, it becomes very apparent. Like the sports gods just strike down and say, you weren't supposed to be playing, so this is what's going to happen. Because, you roll your ankle, then you hurt your ankle the next game, or Tua gets a head injury, and now look, he's probably going to be out for the rest of the season. And I honestly think there's going to be question marks if he ever plays again.
Mm. Yeah, that'd be pretty extreme. Obviously, CTE, head injuries, football, very synonymous with one another. It's something that, in even more so recent years, players have been concerned with, and I think rightfully so. So yeah, hopefully, prayers up to Tua. You never want to see something serious or that detrimental happen on the football field. A game that you and I love so much, and many people across the country and even the world. So prayers up to him. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's real quick. I mean, it's super sad because of the year that he's been having. It feels like he's coming to his own. We were starting to see that Tua that, everybody loved in Alabama, a
mhm.
guy that was a winner. They just had to add a Tyreek Hill to kind of bolster that offense a little bit more and get some passes downfield. So, huge question mark for the Dolphins. Where are they going to go from here? Obviously Teddy Bridgewater is not the answer, but in terms of where their team's going to go, being the favorites in the AFC right now, to probably not without Tua.
So Tyler, obviously the game's already underway. I will say in our pick'em league, I did go with the Bengals. Um, Teddy Two Gloves in there right now. He's 6 for 9, 71 yards and a
Nice.
touchdown. Doing pretty well so far. But obviously the Dolphins are not as dynamic without Tua. Where do you see them, and who did you have first? I should say, who did you have in this game um, beforehand, and also what do you think their record looks like with versus without Tua?
Well, I had Bengals. As you can see in the Pick'em League, I also picked them as well too. I felt like this was a much more of a must-win for the Bengals. Um, and they were going to probably come out with ferocity, as you're seeing. I mean, they're only up by two, even without Tua, but they kind of owned that first half a little bit. But with Tua, I mean, I could easily see this team being I wouldn't say like a 12-5 kind of team, or is it 12-4 or 13-4 kind of team. I could see them being more of like an 11-win team. But I mean, without Tua, I don't know. I could see them winning four more games, and that's probably about it.
Mm.
Unless they pull something drastic, get Jimmy G or something. I don't know. But which they probably won't now because the Niners need them. But it's sad because this team had a lot of promise defensively
So,
and offensively.
so you're saying you think they only win 3 more games without Tua?
Four more.
So I mean that would put them at 7-10. I don't know. I think the Dolphins are a good enough team. With the supporting cast around Tua, obviously the weapons. There's a lot of quarterbacks that could go out with Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Gesicki, Edmonds out of the backfield and put up some pretty decent numbers. Teddy Bridgewater, he's proven in his career that he can hang in there. He can do his thing. He can get you a few wins and buy you some time for your guy to come back. Um, I don't know. I think we'll see what happens with Tua. Obviously, I think Teddy is definitely a 500 quarterback. So, if it's the rest of the season, that'll still put him at 10-7, which might be a playoff team. But who knows? Like you said, Tyler, this Tua injury could be something a lot more serious than anyone can foreshadow.
I mean, are you holding to a out? Because if I'm the coach, if I'm the GM, I'm saying this dude shouldn't play for the rest of the season.
I mean, it depends. I have no idea. Like
I've never seen a guy in game have his hands do what to his hands did
yeah,
in
he's
terms of not having any
throwing up
control.
gang signs.
I know, having no control of what was going on with his bodily functions,
Yeah. Well,
the nervous system, I
I
should
beg
say.
to
But
differ. I beg to differ because a lot of times that whatever the nervous system does, head to hands, I feel like almost in every scenario, you take a bad bump on the noggin, your hands are gonna, we see a lot of fist clenching or, the hands, like you just mentioned. So that's not a good sign, but I don't think it looked any worse than other situations. I can't think of the name, but in recent years, a receiver that got hit pretty hard, and they were kind of sitting there like that, ended up returning to the game. So definitely not a good sign. Nothing you want to see. But as far as like being worse than a traditional head injury, I don't think that was a sign of that. But you know, prayers, thoughts and prayers going to Tua. Dolphins, the whole organization. But yeah, we don't want to see premier player in this league be sidelined for any longer than he needs to be. Um, that's the game going on right now. Let's get into the other games ahead. And I just Google search schedule like Google was supposed to know I was talking about the NFL schedule.
I mean, at this point, your Google should know exactly
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
you'd think so. So that was the game. Tyler and I both have Bengals. Still close one, 14-12 right now in the third quarter. Next game we'll hop into Vikings at Saints. Tyler, this is a weird one for me because two teams I don't really know what to
Well,
make.
first off, Austin, are you waking up at 6:30 in the morning to watch this game?
No, no, definitely not. I'll probably wake up. I've been waking up around 8 or so I'll probably catch the tail end, maybe the second half of that one. If the Packers were playing at that time, which I know they do have a London game, I'm assuming that's when they would play, right? 6:30 on a Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I will do it at some point. For this game, hell to the fuck no. Um, yeah, luckily I don't have really any guys on those teams for fantasy I got to worry about. But Vikings, I don't really know what to make of them. Week one, like I said, I wasn't really reading too much into that over the Packers. They had a decent win over the Lions, and then on the other side, you got the Saints. They don't know what to make of themselves. They beat the Falcons, lose a scrappy game against the Bucks. They lose an ugly one against the Saints. Where's Alvin Kamara? What's he been doing? Is he still hurt? Is there a lingering injury? Is Jameis not the guy? Is their defense struggling? Who knows? However, I will say, if I had to close my eyes and just like envision the Vikings franchise versus the Saints franchise, I'm going to gravitate towards the Saints. I know, this is a different Saints team. There's no more Sean Payton, there's no more Drew Brees, but just something about my gut tells me I would rather trust the Saints in any scenario over the Vikings, and especially a Kirk Cousins led Vikings from that matter. And everyone wants to say, oh, you know, Kirk led the game-winning touchdown drive and hit KJ Osborne. Okay, you still were going against the Lions. Um, you still had great field position. Like I don't want to hear it. Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. Put him in prime time, and I don't know if this considered is considered prime time. Maybe across the pond, but most certainly not on the West Coast at 6:30 in the morning. I hope to God I'm still accumulating boogers in my eyeballs at that point of the day. But I'm gonna pick the Saints in this one.
Very long-winded answer for a game that you don't care about, Austin.
Yeah, usually Tyler, no matter what the game is, I feel like my answers and picks are pretty long, and then as the time goes on, I'm like, oh shit, we got 10 minutes left to do 4 games. All right, I'm picking the Lions. Like I just gotta go rapid fire.
Well, Austin, I'm gonna agree with you on this one. I had the Saints in London. A lot of people are obviously going with the Vikings. Dalvin Cook is expected to play. Justin Jefferson has not been himself the last two games, as probably a lot of fantasy owners, are realizing right now. So
Hmm.
I expect big games out of those guys, but I also expect the big games out of the Saints because honestly, they need it. They need to stay competitive in an NFC where they could easily get lost. And Jameis really needs to step up, and you're absolutely 100% right. Alvin Kamara needs to step up. That's my guy, probably my favorite player in the league. Has been non-existent this year, maybe due to the fact that they don't have great run scheme in this Dennis Allen offense, but they need to figure it out because the guy is a baller, and without him, being a prime leader of stats, whether it's rushing or receiving, you're not going to win games. I think their defense is pretty stout. I think they'll get to Kirk Cousins, pretty easily. But if Austin, if I pick the Saints one more time and they lose, I'm not picking them the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I'm calling this here right now. I think I picked them the last 2 weeks before this and they've lost. So this is the last time. Third time's a charm. Next game, Austin, Cleveland at Atlanta. I'm just going off of the pick'em thing on Yahoo, just so you know.
Okay.
Uh,
I
so
was looking
Cleveland.
at Google's schedule, but
Sorry.
it's all right.
So Cleveland at Atlanta.
Yes.
Austin, this is an easy one for me. I'm not going to give you a long-winded explanation. I'm going to go with the Browns on this one. They're the hot team in the AFC North. I think Chubb, Cooper, Brissett, never thought I would say that, are gonna play very well. Obviously, there's a big caveat to this with Myles Garrett being half injured in that car accident,
Yep.
but I still think the Browns prevail because the Falcons are gonna Falcons.
How do you get half injured? Like it's just like his lower half is injured, or like
Like
just his right half?
I guess by half injured, I mean like he's not half injured,
Somewhat
but like he's
injured.
somewhat injured. I mean he's frazzled.
50% of his body is injured right now. All right.
Sure.
Yeah, again, scary stuff. Prayers to Myles Garrett. He definitely, he's one of those game changer type guys. Him, the Watt Bros. Um, yeah, there's other people I'm sure I could put in that category. I'm gonna go with the Falcons on this one.
Oh.
I think without Garrett, this turns into a shootout type of game. Where I like the
Well, is
Falcon.
Garrett playing or no?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I'll look it up
Isn't
while you're
that is
talking.
that what you just said? Or?
He's injured. I
Right.
don't. Well, he got into a car accident. I mean,
I mean, from the images of
I
that
don't think a
Porsche,
fucking
I don't think he's gonna make it for this one. But
I don't think a car accident's gonna stop this guy. He's a freak of nature.
well, look at him. His knees are already in the fucking steering wheel when he's driving that thing. You
He
know.
looks like Mr. Incredible.
Yeah. Seriously, but no. I don't know. I kind of like what I see from this young
Will be a
Falcons team.
medical decision. Sorry to
All right.
interrupt you.
I'm still gonna go no matter what with the Falcons. I think they're young, they're having fun. There's really no expectations. I feel like if I can relate it to something, when I was growing up playing baseball, you always think about the routine ground balls, right? So it's like there's margin for error there because you're so focused on it and you don't want to mess up and you shouldn't mess up, but oh wait, your brain gets into it. Whereas like the Derek Jeter backhanded, throw off your back foots, those are always easy because there's no pressure. Falcons have no pressure. I like the young talent they have with London, Pitts, obviously. Um, I'm gonna go with the Falcons on this one. Are you taking over for the games now or what?
I think
Because we're going off two completely different ordered
I think the
lists.
last person to speak should do the next game.
Gotcha. So
This
moving
should be
on
fun. Now
here.
it's gonna randomize it for me.
Yeah,
It's gonna keep me on my toes.
I can already tell our order is different. I'm just gonna go in order of games that we haven't done yet. The shit stain game of the week. We got Seahawks at Lions. I'll make this one short and sweet, Tyler. I like Dan Campbell and the Lions on this one. A lot more talent in that organization. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to play. He's still questionable as of right now. Swift will be out. Luckily, they have one of the best 1-2 punches at running back
Oh,
in the
here we
league.
go.
Jamal Williams will be active, and don't worry, Lions fans, you'll be fine in that department.
So you're going Lions on this one. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to agree with you, Austin. I love Dan Campbell. Like I said, it's gonna be a sad day when he gets fired from the Lions organization. But I don't think it's gonna be this week because I think they're gonna prevail against the Seahawks. I the Seahawks are a funny team, Austin. They're the team this year that plays to the team that they're facing. But they play just a level below it, so they're still gonna lose, but they're gonna make the game fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it's gonna be this week. I think high scoring, honestly. We're gonna see some fucking slam the overs in this game. If you can bet in the states that you're watching this in, do it for me because I cannot in Florida. So go on the overs in this one. But I do think the Lions will prevail. Austin, you're right. Jamal Williams is a beast. I think he's gonna have a
Mm-hmm.
great game. But I think it's just going to be a bunch of guys that you wouldn't expect to score. Next game we got, Austin, Washington at Dallas. This is, may I say it, Austin? This is Cooper Rush's team.
Mm.
And, I'm going to ride the hot hand
I
on this
mean,
one,
yeah.
Austin. I'm going to ride the hot hand. I'm going to go with Dallas on this one. I do think the Commanders are tough, but they came off of a wicked bad loss against the Eagles. They got absolutely thrashed. Whereas the Cowboys, beat the Giants in Monday Night Football. It's a short week for them, but I think they're going to come out prepared in Dallas. And I think Cooper Rush is going to show out and show why he's the starting quarterback of this team.
Yeah, I think this is an easy one. I think Cooper Rush is a better quarterback than Carson Wentz. He definitely has a better team around him.
Whoa.
I
Those
mean,
guys
is that
might be,
much of a hot take? I don't know.
it might be, honestly. I mean, one of them won a Super Bowl. But Austin, it's funny that you say that because they could be twins separated at birth.
I can't even picture Cooper Rush. I didn't think he was as much of a redhead though. No.
No, he's very much a redhead.
Oh,
I wish I could share this with you.
uh, I'll look him up at some point. Or you just
I'll share my laptop.
okay.
You can't see the screen? No.
No, it's
Nope, can't see it.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's very much saturated and bright. I can't see. Anyways, Cowboys. I don't want to talk about the Cowboys because there's nothing to talk about. I just think the Commanders are a bad football team. Cowboys defense is legit. Micah Parsons, once in a generation type guy. He's gonna wreak havoc on him. There he is. Yeah, all right. Kind of close, I guess. Yeah, he was definitely a lot more redhead than I had pictured him in my head. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys on this one. That division's wide open right now. You got the boys and the G-men sitting up. Actually, no. What am I thinking? What am I saying? Eagles are a powerhouse right now, so I think the Cowboys might be able to get some scraps behind them and maybe make a wild card. But yeah, the Eagles should have a firm grasp upon that division.
Wide open like a whore at Baelish's brothel.
Yeah. If you can't tell, Tyler just started watching Game of Thrones.
Love it.
I don't know what took him so long, but yeah, now he's flooding my text like, wait, what happened with this? What happened with that? Of course, I don't mind because
I was gonna say
I'm like a Game of Thrones encyclopedia, but
I've never heard Austin talk so passionately about something than Game of Thrones.
yeah.
I thought you loved football. I think you love Game of Thrones more.
Oh, by far, yeah. Sci-fi, anything in that realm, sci-fi and boobies, like it's just game over. Game over.
Now, when they started showing dicks, that's when I was like, okay, they're
Right.
balancing out the universe right now.
Right. No, it's got equal parts, I guess we'll say.
Yeah, like Hodor.
Yes. So Hodor, call him Hungdor. That guy's got a fucking monster down there. But speaking of boobs, next game I got Wilson. Wilson. No, this isn't Castaways. Motherfucking Zach Wilson's coming back for the Jets against the Steelers. I'm looking for him to throw 400 yards, 5 TDs and 2 MILFs in his bed at the end of the day. I don't know. The Steelers without Watt, they haven't really shown me enough. Trubinsky's hot garbage. Jets a little bit of tenacity. I like Salah. I like the stuff he's got going on in the locker room. I haven't seen an update on Garrett Wilson, but if he's playing, they have a nice little young receiving core, and I don't know. I'm seeing life out of the Jets for the first time in a while. Tyler, if you saw that little skirmish that I think it was Quentin Williams and the defensive line coach got in on the sidelines, it's like these guys are getting actually passionate about Jets football for the first time in a long time. Typically it's probably like, oh, we're the Jets, we suck. Like, doesn't even matter. I'm gonna collect my paycheck and go home. But 1-2 right now is showing a little bit of life, and I think Zach Wilson puts them in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean they got a better record than the Raiders, so that's something to
Yeah.
applaud. Um, Austin, I'm gonna fade you on this one. I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I think this is gonna be a big Najee Harris game this week, as Austin probably
I
hopes for
hope,
his
yeah.
fancy.
Oh shit.
But I
Speaking of
do
that.
think it's gonna be a close game. The Jets are a decent team. They are playing with tenacity, like you said, but I think the Steelers are just a little bit better. In Pittsburgh this week. I just like the Steelers a little bit more, even defensively without Watt. I still think they're a strong powerhouse in the NFL. Obviously, Trubisky's got to show up, but I think they're gonna really pound the rock with Najee and let him, get into his own. Hopefully, start something for him this season because he's been seriously lacking. Um, Next game, Austin, we got Tennessee at Indianapolis. Titans coming off of a huge win to not be defeated anymore against my Vegas Raiders. And the Colts. Did the Colts win last week?
They did another surprising win over the Chiefs.
Oh, that's right. They beat the Chiefs. Both teams probably feeling a little bit hot right
Hmm.
now. Although I know this isn't the pick that everybody's going to go with. I'm going to go with the Titans. I think they found something with Derrick Henry. They're really going to start rushing him more. I think they realized that was the missing piece this season to why they weren't being
Wait, you
successful.
say you're going with the Colts or the Titans?
The Titans.
Oh, I thought you said Colts.
I'm going against the Colts.
Against
I
the
know a lot of
Colts.
people are
Gotcha.
probably going to be picking the Colts this week, especially in Indianapolis. But better say that the Titans own this game in Indianapolis. So in the past 5 meetings, the Titans have beat Indianapolis in Indianapolis 4 times out of those 5. So I'm going to go with the odds on this one, and I'm going to go with the Titans.
Yeah, I actually agree with you on this one. I don't really know what to make of that game last week, but I'm still thinking of the Colts that got shut out by the Jaguars. I think the Titans do a better job at holding on to the ball, keeping that time of possession in their favor. Not a lot of turnovers. I mean, that's a very low risk, low reward type of game style. They run the balls, some short screen plays, not a lot of downfield, some play action, help out Tannehill as much as possible. Matt Ryan, I just, obviously he's getting up there in his career. I don't think he still has that same kind of playmaking ability. Jonathan Taylor, that line doesn't look as good as it did a year ago, so I'm going with the Titans on this one.
Austin, we're at that part of the season real quick
Yeah.
where you could do that little circle of like the teams that beat certain teams but
Yeah.
lost to certain teams. I think we're almost getting there.
A couple more weeks. Yeah.
Couple more weeks. I
Yeah.
mean, Jaguars, are they better than the Chiefs?
Right. I mean, yeah. If law of denominations or uh, fra- square root of binomial nomenclature.
Square root is 69 is
Yeah.
7 something.
I don't know. No, eight some.
Oh, 8 something.
Square root of 69 is eight some. So
And
isn't that a
8's,
Drake song?
yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't know how the rest of that goes. Next game we got another kind of stinker game, but two teams above 500. We got the Bears and the Giants. It's an interesting one, Tyler. I think just slightly I'm going to go with the Bears. I like their
Whoa.
quarterback a little bit better. I like their defense a little bit better. And It's really all I have to go off that one.
I'm gonna fade you on this one. I like the Giants a little bit more. I think Dable is the savior of Daniel Jones. He's making him relevant again. Saquon Barkley is back. Former Penn State great Saquon Barkley, I should say.
Mm.
But I do like the Giants. I think defensively they're playing good. I mean, obviously last week after losing to the Cowboys, I think they're gonna come out with a little bit more tenacity in MetLife. I just hate this Bears team, Austin. I just don't think they're good. Uh, they're very mediocre. And really, the one game that they did win was, well, how many games did they won? One or two?
Who's that now?
Bears?
Two.
Okay. Well, one of the games that they won, they shouldn't have won. I mean, that was a fucking monsoon. It looked like Hurricane Ian. They
Mm.
looked like they were playing in my backyard yesterday. But I just don't like this Bears team. I can't trust them. So I'm definitely gonna have to ride with the Giants on this one. Sticking with NFC East opponents, we have the Eagles at home against the Jaguars. Why is my shit all blurry? There we
Just
go.
yeah, out of focus.
Yeah, Eagles at home versus the Jaguars, Austin. I'm going to have to ride with the Eagles on this one. I know a lot of people are probably thinking Jaguars might come into Philly and upset them, but I think this Philly team is very scary this year. Defensively, they're just ransacking the backfield, intercepting people left and right. Offensively, adding AJ Brown is huge. Jalen Hurts looking like an MVP right now. Probably a little bit of an overreaction. But this Eagles team is flying to the ball, and that's why I'm going to say fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, this is a kind of a close one for me, Tyler. I think you and have been in agreement that like we kind of have to throw week one out of the window for the NFL. You know,
Oh, yeah.
you don't know how teams like prepared after preseason, coming in from training camp, injuries, this and that. So I'm just looking at it. If you throw away week one, Jaguars lose to the Commanders 28-22. They're outscoring weeks 2 and 3 combined. They're outscoring their opponents. Well, it's 28 or 24 plus 38 is 62-10, Tyler.
Whew.
24 to nothing against the Colts, 38-10 against the Chargers, who many have touted as one of the top teams in the AFC.
I mean, with a
I,
Herbert.
yeah, and obviously I think Bosa and Slater went down in that game, so there might be an asterisk on the blowout, but it was a blowout nonetheless, and they went away with a commanding lead. On the other end, Eagles close game week one against the Lions, scored 24 in their last two games, beating a Vikings and a Commanders team. I think I'm gonna ride with the Eagles on this one, Tyler. But what's the spread? I almost want to say the Jags
I
might
think it was
cover.
like 1.5.
Pretty much a pick'em game. I think this will be a very close game, Tyler. A lot closer
Also,
than people think.
Doug Peterson revenge game.
Hey, you
I didn't
never
even think
know.
about that.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
I don't know. Lawrence has been stellar.
I mean, Doug Peterson, if he continues this, easily he's going to win Coach of the Year.
If the Jags get above 500, I think you're probably correct in that one. But I mean, look,
And also, Christian Kirk, Austin, I remember you laughing at that.
yeah,
That guy's the truth.
no, for sure, he's definitely playing a lot better. I didn't think he would be the answer to Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars' offensive woes, but this season, Tyler, Trevor Lawrence is 69 nice percent completion percent, 772 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's got 103 passer rating. Like, dude has been balling.
Mm-hmm.
The defense looks good. Josh Allen is reminding you guys why he was a top first round draft pick in the NFL. The boys are buzzing. Who they have someone else like a veteran guy, like a
Marvin
veteran.
Jones?
I thought it was like a veteran corner on defense. I was
Oh.
like, oh shit, that's where that guy is. But now they're clicking in a very, let me say, Tyler, very, very, very winnable division. Like right now, I think the Jags
They're in first.
they have to be the favorite to win that division at this point in the season, and I think it's justified.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're, as of week 2 or 3, they were the only team with a win in that division. So
I almost don't even want to pick a team in this game just because like I don't feel too strongly one way or another, and I don't want to be wrong.
they have Shaquille Griffin, but they also have Foyesade Alakun, who was from the Falcons last year,
Hmm.
who's a fucking baller, dude, at linebacker.
Oh, I know what I'm thinking of. Adoree Jackson is on the Giants, right?
Yes,
And I just
yes.
saw that on Monday, and that's what was fresh in my mind. But no, I think that might be the game of the week, Tyler. As I'm looking
It's
down
a
the
1 o'clock game
schedule,
too. I mean,
nothing.
no,
Bucks Chiefs actually, but
nobody would have thought that when they were making the schedule that week 4 Jaguars at Philly would be a prime time.
no.
They would have been like, "Oh, that game should be played in London now."
Oh, for sure. That screams London game.
Oh,
I feel like the Jags like one of their home games every year has been in London. Like,
them and the Falcons. I think they're testing the market to see who the people like more.
yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, as far as a fan base goes, like, what is the population of Jacksonville even enough to fill the whole Jaguars stadium? Like,
Oh yeah,
no.
yeah.
I mean, obviously that was a little bit sarcastic, but I feel like that's just like such a small market team. You know, you talk about like Oklahoma City Thunder.
Well,
You
I
know,
mean, they're also so close to Georgia that I think they're trying to pull some of that southern kind
mm.
of Georgia, Savannah area to Jacksonville, plus also Daytona Beach, and, things south of Jacksonville too.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
feel like if you're in the brain fart, what do they call it? The belt or
the
the
Panhandle.
panhandle, thank you.
Actually, Tampa's closer.
What?
Tampa is closer to the Panhandle than Jacksonville is.
Really? Hmm.
Yes.
I don't know. When I think of Jacksonville, I just think of that like panhandle area, but
Well, it's just directly across the state from the Panhandle, basically.
hmm.
But going south, it's faster to get there because going over, there's no major roadway.
Hmm.
And that was talking architecture.
Geography.
Yes.
Talking geography. All right. Next game we got another decent one. Bills at Ravens, Tyler. Um, both teams, Tyler, their only loss of the season is actually to the Dolphins. You know, Josh. These are probably the top two quarterbacks in the league right now, right?
Oh
Josh
yeah.
Allen, Lamar. You know, Dobbins is gonna get another week under his belt, look a little bit healthier. I think I got to go with the Bills on this one. I still like them overall. I think they have a little bit better defense, but um, if I'm gambling on this one, Tyler, I'm hammering the over.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of
Um,
points scored.
I mean, the biggest thing that kind of takes me away from picking the Bills, although I am going to pick the Bills, is their injuries that they have sustained. Obviously, Micah
Yeah, they're
Hyde being hurt,
secondary.
and it kind of showed against the Dolphins, how they were lacking. But I do think that the Bills coaching staff is going to prepare for Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, really those two. That tandem is just unstoppable in the NFL. How nobody has stopped Mark Andrews is actually pretty
Hmm.
amazing because it's just been going on since week 3 of last year, I feel like. But
Hmm.
there's a lot of injuries. Obviously, Gabe Davis is questionable. They don't know if he's going to be playing offensively. I don't think it matters. I think Josh Allen is very pissed at the way that the last game ended in Miami. Although I did say it, Austin, if there was a game that the Bills were going to win last week or lose last week, it was going to be the Dolphins in Miami. They never play well there. Um,
Well, if there's a game they were gonna lose last week, that would be the only game they could
well, no,
lose
I'm
last.
saying
Oh,
what I was saying was last week I said if there was a game that they were going to lose
lose this
this season, I'm
season,
sorry,
it would be
it would be
okay.
against Miami in Miami, and they did. Um, I think they're going to come back, and I think they're going to. I won't say thrash the Ravens, but I think it's going to be a little bit further apart than you would think, Austin. I think it's going to
Hmm.
be a decently scoring game, but I think the Bills are gonna hand the Ravens a pretty sturdy loss
Yeah.
because
Uh,
they need to.
Tyler, our number one fans back in the chat, Fisherman93 asking,
Oh
do we
man,
still watch the WNBA? Um,
yeah, Las Vegas Aces, baby.
yeah,
Woo!
just want to give a quick shout
Asha
out
Wilson.
to Sue Bird on a legendary career, Tyler. We'll never see anyone like her
Not
again.
only that, but I mean, what's her face? Not Tamika Catchings. Fuck. the tall girls. Fowler, Cynthia
Candace.
Fowler,
Okay.
Candace Parker.
Yeah.
Coming off a great MVP
Yeah.
season. I mean, yeah, dude,
The comeback
WNBA,
of Skylar Diggins. I
dude,
mean, the storylines
fundamentals.
are writing themselves over here. Come on.
Aja Wilson, dude. Did you see Elena Deladon is now on the POTUS's fucking sports council? Come
I did
on.
not see that.
I it's crazy that I saw that today and now we're talking about WNBA, but dude, come on.
Wait, POTUS is Sports Council? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, they have like the president's sports council that does like counseling of
You
sports.
talking about when Obama used to do the March Madness bracket? Like that's the
No.
only POTUS sports I can think of.
It's
Just
like a fucking small board that gets together to discuss like sports in America or something. She's on it. I think she represents the WNBA.
okay. I
I'll send you the link on
Yeah, I definitely gotta look into it. He said free Brittany Griner. Hashtag free Brittany Griner. Um, but no, yeah, football is definitely our focus as of right now. This game, Tyler and I, we both picked the Bills. Next game we got slated this weekend. We got
Hold on.
Cardinals
Hold on real quick.
Panthers.
Secretary Becerra swore me in as co-chair of President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition. Thank you, POTUS, for the opportunity to serve. That's Elena
Well,
Deladon,
she should
so
be
you know.
fucking fired because the only sports POTUS synonymous things I've seen in the news in the last calendar year is Biden falling off his bike. And that's negative.
Also, I know that we
That's
don't
not
talk.
good.
I know we don't talk politics,
Yeah.
but President Biden also asked if a woman who
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
pronounced dead a month ago was at the meeting that he was at speaking
Yeah.
at.
I mean it's not good. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
almost feel bad for the guy at this time. Like we're watching
a brain deteriorate.
yeah, we're watching someone with, onset
Early onset.
onset Alzheimer's, just develop in front of our eyes on national television. Yeah, but that's talking politics. Back to the stuff that really matters in this
Free
world in this
BG.
country. Cardinals at Panthers is going to be a rout. It's going to be Cardinals all day.
Yeah, Panthers are officially the second biggest dumpster fire in the league, Austin, right behind the Las Vegas Raiders. Cardinals, I think they're finally hitting their stride, and they're hitting it at the right time, right before Call of Duty comes out
Mm.
for Kyler Murray. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals on this one. Next game we got Austin, Chargers at Texans, another route if Herbert plays. Maybe, I'm not sure. It could be a route, could not be. I could see it being really close, or I could see it being a game by 50. But either way, I'm going with the Chargers with or without Rashawn Slater. Shout out to B Street Shoes. With or without Herbert.
Mm.
I think the Chargers are still going to take care of business in Houston. As
Yeah,
long as they don't go to the strip clubs. Stay away from the strip clubs.
yeah. I mean, fuck yeah. I don't know. Herbert, he probably won't be caught dead near a strip club. He just looks like the type of guy that goes home and fucking cuts his fingernails for the 10th time this week and I don't know, watches a murder documentary.
I could see
Um,
Herbert being a notebook guy, though.
he just
Big notebook
a
guy.
notebook guy.
Yeah, like the Notebook, the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, shit, that's a bona fide stellar flick. I don't know that we should be
I'm not dogging
categorized
it. I'm
by.
just saying.
Yeah, no, he definitely an introvert. You
Puts his
know,
hair up, the mask on.
yeah,
Watch.
I get very how do I say this without saying this, but like school shooter vibes from him.
Whoa. Yeah, I could see it. It's the long hair.
Like just very reserved. He's kind of got like the dead look behind his eyes, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't say there's a dead look. I mean, yeah, I could see it.
Not much going on behind those eyes besides fucking just
Slinging,
slinging the rock all over. But no, this screams
slinging
bounce
the rock
back.
and slinging the cock.
Aha ha. This screams bounce back for me though, Tyler. They've dropped two straight. Obviously, not looking chill for them. They lose Rashawn Slater for the season. Bosa's gonna be on IR for a few weeks getting surgery.
Forgot about
But
that.
Allen might be back. They still got Williams, Austin Eckler, Derwin James, they got a solid squad around him. I think Herbert will come into this game a little bit healthier than he was last week. And Texans are just fucking bad, so I'm gonna pick the Chargers on this one. Let's see, am I forgetting any up here? I gotta go back up to the previous
No, you're good.
10 a.m. games because
You're
we're,
good.
we're all
You're
over the
good.
place.
You're good.
I think yeah, I just realized I went to a 1 o'clock game before that one. Anyways, next game, Tyler. Definitely not the game of the week. Maybe the shit stain game of the week. We got the Broncos at the Raiders. I hate this game for a multitude of reasons, Tyler. Many of which I won't get into, but fuck, I'm gonna do this one just
Don't
because I hate it so much. I'm gonna
don't
coin
do
flip
it.
it.
Don't. Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna pick the Raiders. I said,
you,
don't do
you
it.
you don't want me to pick the Raiders? Let's see, 2 out of 3. I'm gonna go tails on this one. Or I didn't even say which team is which. Jesus Christ. All right, restart.
Raiders are tails because
Restart.
they're ass.
Raiders tails, Broncos heads. 2 out of 3. Um, so we got one heads Broncos, two heads Broncos. All right, I'm picking the Broncos on this one.
That's how
um,
bad it is.
yeah, but both these teams, I don't know what to make of them. The defense is just so bad. The offense, I mean, I hope Devontae's happy. He's caught 12 touchdowns in games in a row with his old college buddy, but he's on the only 0-3 team in the NFL right now. The Broncos, Eli Manning was notably joking that they should have paid the punter the however many $1 million instead of Russell Wilson. He's not looking great right now. You can definitely tell he's not a team guy, organization guy. They're struggling, and there's not a lot of guys saying we. He's getting a lot of the spotlight shown on him. Uh, I guess to talk myself into the Broncos because that's what fate and the coin flip just decided for me. I like their offense a little bit better with Javante and Judy and Sutton.
Yeah, I mean, Austin, a few things based off of what you said. The Broncos, I'm starting to realize that the Seahawks of yesteryear, didn't have shitty games because of Pete Carroll or because of the team. I'm starting to believe it was because of Russell Wilson. This guy just automatically puts other teams in a stranglehold of being the shittiest game of the week.
Hmm.
Last week on Monday night, the Niners versus Broncos game, I'm glad I went to bed at the start of the third quarter because that game was the worst game I was ever watching, and it continued to be. So I feel bad. The NFL should give out gift cards for thanking them for watching the rest of that game because of how bad it was. Um, for that, Austin, just like the Saints, this is going to be the last week I pick the Raiders. If they lose, I'm done picking them. Um, I picked them 3 times and I've lost all 3 times, but the
I
fourth
love
time
it.
has to be the charm, Austin. I'm going to talk myself into the Raiders. This is a must-win game for the Raiders at this point in the season. If they don't win, they're at the point of no return. Panic button. Josh McDaniels needs to be fired. The whole 9 yards. Something needs to change. Obviously, their offensive line is a big, big, big problem. They can't establish the run with Josh Jacobs, who's a great running back. They have a multitude of running backs that they can't get into the game because they have no holes to hit. Devontae Adams obviously needs to get the ball more. Why are we throwing? I mean, granted, Matt Collins, he's been playing great, but why is he the main share of the targets? You're not getting your playmakers involved, such as Devontae, such as Darren Waller, such as Hunter Renfrow when he was healthy. This needs to be a focal point for the offense this week. Just getting the guys the ball that are going to win you the games. And I think that's what they're going to do. At least that's what I hope.
Mhm.
I'm going Raiders. I
Okay.
don't feel good about it, Austin.
Okay.
I don't feel good about it, but I'm going Raiders.
Listen, Tyler, I would never, obviously like put down a guy for rooting for his team, and I would never talk bad about an NFL athlete or because they're way better than you or I. They made it to a greater stage than we ever could. But talking about getting Devontae the ball, 34 targets which is 15 more than Matt Collins. He only has 3 more receptions. Now, I'm not going to come out and say it's because of the quarterback throwing him the ball, to where he does not have the best receptions to target ratio. I would never come out and say that because, as I aforementioned, Derek Carr, quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders, he's a much better athlete than I ever was, ever will be. Right? He's in the NFL. I'm doing
True.
a podcast, right, wearing a wife beater. But one could say Devontae had much better numbers with his previous quarterback. So I don't know where the common denominator is, square root, leave
I
the
mean, to be fair
variable.
though, this their third game together in 11 years. You know, they haven't played together since college.
But they
Aaron Rodgers.
did play together in college.
I know, but I'm
And they
saying
know each other and
they
they
do
have
know each other.
rapport and connection.
But that's not something that's just gonna click right away in the NFL. It takes some time. He's getting Devontae the ball, maybe not the best throws, but you also have to know Devontae is being double covered almost, not only by the cornerback but by the safety up ahead. So I mean, yeah, it helps having Devontae on the field for a guy like Matt Collins, but at the end of the day, if we're not getting W's, it doesn't matter. Are you
You
done?
you must be starving, Marvin. You haven't ate a W all season, but I got 2 of them joints under my belt.
Well, speaking of No Look Podcast favorite teams, Austin, next game, Patriots at Green Bay. This is going to be a rout. I'm not even going to explain why. Obviously, Patriots quarterback Mac Jones is day-to-day, as Bill Belichick says. That dude might as well be out for the season. It's going to be all Packers, especially in Green Bay. There's no way that the Patriots win this game. Watch, I'm going to knock on wood. No way the Patriots win.
The
He's
fucking
got that dog in
Packers!
him.
The Packers are gonna blow out the Patriots. This one's not even gonna be close. The two-headed rushing attack of Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. And oh wait, Aaron Rodgers done found himself a receiver. Romeo Dobbs scored his first touchdown in the NFL. He's gonna score in back-to-back weeks. He's gonna do it again. Bob Tonyan, he's gonna get in the end zone. Christian Watson, Sammy Watkins. I'm just saying names of players
Sammy
that I know
Watkins
at
is
this
out.
point. And oh, might I add, the defense held TB12, the greatest quarterback of all time, in that Tampa Bay offense to only 12 points. Tyler, they only scored 1 touchdown. The defense is legit. I'm not even going to name all the names of guys because I could name all 11 of them, but I don't need to because as a unit, they are strong. And they're going to win this game by a lot.
You feel good about that?
Yeah, I had to get a little bit of steam out.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, thanks. I feel good. I feel better about what's gonna happen than what I just did because it's gonna be a lot worse. Well, better for me, but bad for Patriots fans.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Patriots fans, they're already feeling it.
Yeah. Um. Speaking of TB12 and the Bucks, they got the Chiefs coming into town. Hopefully, they don't get swept away. Ahaha. No, but I don't know. This is an interesting one, Tyler. I still think the Bucks are good. Obviously, they're decimated at the receiver position. They will get Mike Evans back this week. I'm not sure about Godwin or Julio.
Godwin's questionable.
Mm-hmm. Former Penn State great.
Don't forget.
I still like the Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the youth on this one. Mahomes. I don't know why people aren't really talking about him as being still one of the best in the league. Obviously, he hasn't been putting up astronomical numbers yet this year. He loses Tyreek Hill, but he's still doing his thing. Chiefs still 2-1. I think they move on to 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that has to do with the same reason why we don't talk about LeBron being the greatest in the NBA. It's just kind of expected. Patrick Mahomes, astonishing season so far. Chiefs, I don't know what to make of them right now. Coming off of a loss to the Colts, that's tough. But the only person that comes off of losses and becomes even better is Tom Brady. I think I saw he's undefeated coming off of losses. in games against the spread. So I'm going to go with the Bucks on this one. I think at home in Florida, after Hurricane Ian, there's another hurricane coming in. It's Hurricane TB12, and he's going to rain all over Patty Mahomes' little face.
Mm.
And what's his face better not be on the sideline dancing, or I'll sick the dogs on him. Oh!
Was it Jackson?
Jackson, yeah.
I don't think he's been doing it. I think the Chiefs were like, "Yo, dude, you gotta get the fuck out of here."
I mean, it needed to be said at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. And Austin, the final game of this week's games. Why San Francisco has back-to-back Monday night games beyond me. But San Francisco hosting LA Rams. Austin, I'm going to go with a little bit of a surprise pick on this one.
Whoa!
The 49ers own the Rams at home. I'm going to ride with the 49ers on this one against my better judgment. I think coming off this loss against the Broncos, Shanahan has a lot to think about. Has his guy back in Jimmy G, maybe not so much his guy, but the guy that he can't get rid of, that he keeps having to produce with. I think Jimmy G finds a way to win against the Rams.
Yeah, Tyler, I'm actually gonna agree with you on this one. Like you said, the Shanahan and the Niners, they've been McVay's kryptonite, at least in the regular season over the past few years.
Kind of like the Packers.
Yeah. Well, I think the Packers are just their own kryptonite. You know?
Fair.
It's like, because at this point, it's like Niners, Seahawks,
Giants?
Giants. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they just beat themselves up. Anyways, yeah, Jimmy G, I think another. So Tyler, I didn't know this, but I heard, I guess the Niners really weren't letting Jimmy G like look at the game plan or like the playbook for the offense because they were expecting to ship him out and they didn't want him to like give away their secrets in the offseason. So
Yeah, that was crazy.
So understandable that he wasn't really that comfortable with the offense last week. Kittle's gonna be back. He's even more healthy. Debo hasn't really had that breakout game yet this year. I'm gonna look for him to have a solid performance. And yeah, I think the Niners, they're still a sound football team. They're up and down. I don't really know what to make of them. Obviously, I'd say 1-1. If we're not counting that week one game. So we'll see what happens.
Also, I heard Bosa's might be out, might play. Obviously they're crippled at the running back position, so it's definitely going to be an interesting game. I mean, the Rams, they're not playing that well, so I guess we'll see. Another fucking probably boring snooze fest game on Monday night that I'll turn off at the third quarter, though.
Well, maybe I won't be stuck in standstill traffic because everyone will already be home to watch the fucking Rams game.
That's true. I didn't even think
once.
about that.
Yeah, Rams and Niners. Like, there's a lot of fans of both those teams down in SoCal.
Uh-oh, Austin.
What happened?
Interception by Teddy Bridgewater with
No
3:05 left. Bengals are up 20-15. It just looks like we might have been right on our pick.
And you were right on your fucking stance of giving away Jamar Chase because that dude has been a fucking scrub so far, with the exception of
I
week
don't
one.
want no scrubs. A scrub is a guy that can't get no money from me.
God damn it! And then Mostert, they've
been running Mostert like a fucking
Edmonds, I should say, gets a bullshit touchdown reception for Ben. Son of a B.
I mean, Jalen Waddle hasn't done anything tonight, so it's sad when Tyler Boyd has.
Hey, you're 3-0. Stop complaining.
I'm 2-1.
Really?
Oh. Yeah.
Hey, you're 2-1. Stop complaining.
I lost last week, Austin, because I was petty and fucking made a bet with Dada and said that the fucking Commanders were going to score over 20 points against the Eagles. So then I went and dropped the Eagles and picked up the fucking Cowboys defense and lost by 1 point or 1.5, 2 points when I could have easily beat them by like 16. Fucking stupid. I should have never went to Dan's house that night. I would have been better off. I would have been 3-0. Save some gas.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh well, it happens.
It happened.
But either way, I think it's gonna do it. I'll be right back with Thirsty Thursday. Tyler, any these could be your last words if Ian decides he wants to gritty up north to Tampa.
Well, Ian's already passed. He's
Oh,
past Jacksonville at this point.
oh.
And if you know where Jacksonville is,
Well, now
it's
I do. It's east,
yeah. Uh,
southeast.
so no, I'm way past Hurricane Ian.
All right.
Hopefully I get to go back to work tomorrow because
Mm.
if I finish another season of Game of Thrones, oh Jamar Chase!
What? Are you fucking with me?
You almost got the guy just got him at the 10-yard line too.
Wait, did he catch it?
Yeah, he did. Actually, it might have been the 5-yard line.
Wait, no.
Update your fucking thing. 5-yard line.
Wait, no.
Update your fucking thing. It was the 5-yard line. Oh, what a shame. He almost had a touchdown.
Was he like gonna walk in and the guy just like barely
Oh
tripped him up?
no. Yeah.
God
He was
damn
kind
it.
of right behind him. No, but if I don't work tomorrow, I'll probably watch another season of Game of Thrones and
I was gonna say, why would you want to work? You don't want to watch another season?
it's just bad for you.
I guess.
I'll go crazy.
I've done
I'll be like fucking Hodor and just be saying Hodor.
I've done it 10 times already, so you're not doing too bad.
You're a sick fuck. When does Cersei cut her hair? What season?
Uh,
3?
like 3 or 4, I think.
Oh, okay.
Shame.
She's fine. She's fine with
Oh
the
yeah,
long hair.
yeah. She's Lana Headley, I think, is the actress's name.
Yeah.
She's been in some stuff. 300. She's a baddie.
Oh shit, that's right. I knew
Yeah.
she looked familiar.
Yeah. All right. Any last words?
A Lannister always pays his debts.
I don't know. That definitely wasn't any Lannister's accent. That was like an Irish accent. All right.
Oh shit.
I'll be right back with whatever I'm doing.